Hey peeps, I always hear people saying that to be healthy, to eat healthy, to have a healthy lifestyle is very expensive. Well, today I want to give you tips that are either free or will save you some money for you to have a healthy and vibrant lifestyle. So let's start with the two main leverage points for your health that I think, in my opinion. One is managing your stress. So managing your stress, apart from getting professional therapy help, is free. So you can do meditation, that's free. You can do breath work, that's free. You can do journaling, you can have a hobby, you can do coloring, you can do any form of exercise, helps you manage stress, and you have to combine these, use more than one technique and do it consistently, do it every day. And you can find resources online all for free. So that is the number one point. So when you control your stress, you balance your hormones, you optimize your digestion, you improve your sleep, you improve your relationships, you improve your immune system and just overall well-being, okay? Second point of leverage that is very significant is balancing your blood sugar. So when you're always eating just a simple carbohydrate, refined carbohydrates, processed foods, and your blood sugar is spiking all the time, your body is responding with insulin, and you're causing your body to go into insulin resistance, and that will give you a host of metabolic problems. Okay, so how do you balance your blood sugar? In a nutshell, being hydrated, obviously, and in every meal or snack, always have a protein source, fiber source, and a good fat source. So don't only eat a cookie or don't only eat a chocolate bar, something that's a lot of sugar alone. Ideally, you don't want to eat it often at all, but if you do, at least pair it with some protein, with some good fibers, add on. If you don't want to subtract, add on something healthy. That's the goal, okay? So what are other things? So these are the two main points. And then other things that are very healthy for you and that can be free. Drinking water, having a good water filter can be expensive, but having good quality water is so important for you. Trying to cut down on that plastic, that'll even save you money. So trying to have one reusable bottle, it can be from a glass juice bottle that once you bought. You don't even have to go out and buy a new glass bottle, but using glass bottles and reutilizing it instead of drinking from glass bottles, that'll do you a world of good, decreasing your toxicity and helping the environment as well. So if you put a little bit of salt, so hydration is not just water, and we are very mineral deficient. One, because we're not eating enough fruits and vegetables. Two, because our soil is so depleted. So sometimes you can drink a whole bunch of water and not be hydrated because you're lacking electrolytes. Minerals are electrolytes: sodium, potassium, magnesium. So if you add a little bit of real salt, not refined salt, so pink Himalayan salt or non-refined sea salt, just a little pinch, not even to be able to feel the taste, into your water, it helps you hydrate more. Okay, so daily routines such as scraping your tongue, you don't even have to go out and buy a scraper. Use a spoon, that'll help you detoxify, it'll stimulate your digestive system, it'll help you from being constipated. What else? Your self-massage helps you to detoxify, helps you to calm down, helps you to alleviate stress. Dry brushing is another thing that is free if you have the brush. You can just sweep yourself towards your lymph nodes. So you have lymph nodes here, here, in your groin, and behind your knee. So if you sweep it all towards those, and you will help your body detoxify, slough off those dead skin cells, and just feel better. The other thing is farmers markets. So go purchase your stuff more from farmers markets, or from here in the U.S. you can have those services such as like the Imperfect Foods or I forget the other name. It's like those mismatched and misformed veggies that would be otherwise thrown away, but they're perfectly good, perfectly healthy. You can buy those first and you can save a lot of money on those. If you go to farmers markets, it's usually cheaper to buy there than it is to buy at the supermarket, and you get the benefit of eating seasonally, because eating seasonally is better for us. We need the nutrients specifically for each season. Types of foods are more warming, more cooling, specifically for each season. So it's very interesting and cheaper to eat seasonally. proteins, very important part of our diet, and tend to be the most expensive part as well. So cheap proteins are eggs. The fish are sardines, and the smaller fish that you can buy, like flounder. What else? So I talked about eggs. You can use not great cuts of meat, like prime cuts of meat. If you're going to do it ground, so ground turkey, ground chicken, ground meats, those are much, much cheaper, and they're still very, very nutritious, okay? Sleeping early, not having a blackout curtain if you have trouble waking up early. So to regulate your circadian rhythm, maybe you just want to keep those curtains open, that's free. Waking up early and sleeping early are both three excellent for your health. Turning off all your gadgets an hour before you go to bed, not being on your phone an hour before you go to bed. You don't even have to buy the blue light blocking glasses if you do that, so you're saving money there. In terms of exercises, walking, running, dancing, jumping rope, using YouTube videos, they're all free and they're all good for you. Okay, any kind of movement. Our body was not designed for specifically CrossFit or for weightlifting or some specific Pilates fancy workout. We just need to move, and it has to be every day, and it has to be consistent. And some days you're not in the mood, do 5 minutes. Do 1 push-up, do 1 squat. It's better than 0. And that it's all free. Grounding, so walking barefoot on a soil that is either grass, sand, or just earth is very grounding. It lets your body release accumulated electrons, and it helps balance your body out. So that is excellent. Let me take the dog out of the heat here. She's going to overheat. Come here, Mimi. There you go. Sorry about that. What else can we say? So leaving your cell phones and your gadgets outside of your bedroom really improves the quality of your sleep. If you improve your quality of sleep, you improve your overall health. All those sleeping routines, really, they're all free, and they can be done every day by you. All right, not drinking too much, so 1 drink per day. The only acceptable one that you could drink every day is very, very small amount. I think it's like 6 ounces of wine, red wine every day. That would be acceptable. But any other thing, you want to do it like only a couple times a week. Not smoking obviously saves you some money and saves your health as well. Spending less in junk food and eating out and cooking inside more. Being very creative in the kitchen. Try to think outside the box. Like breakfast, you have an image. When you say breakfast, you have an image of eggs and bacon and this and that. It doesn't always have to look like breakfast or look like lunch. It just has to have a good source of protein, fruits and veggies, a lot of veggies. If you want to find a type of starch, eat ideally the root vegetables and less grains, some legumes, a good source of fats, so avocado, olive oil, nuts and seeds, flax, chia, pumpkin, all of those seeds, very good for you. So it doesn't have to look like a certain meal. It just has to have components of a good meal, and you can mix and match as much as you want. And just being creative like that and trying to think outside the box. So using YouTube and other social media, or even the internet in general, as your resource for free exercises, free guided meditations, free guided breath work, other stress management techniques, even the tapping technique. You can follow videos around anything. Just use it to your advantage. It's free. It's there. Don't just sit. So you're sitting at work for 8 hours. Then you're sitting in your car commuting to and from work. And then when you come home, you sit in front of the TV consuming things that are not benefiting you in any way, if they're not even harming you, depending on the content. If it's making you anxious, if it's the news that you can't do anything about, or if it's some violence or whatever, if you can cut down on that, you're going to be doing your body a world of good as well. So all of this that I have said, especially here in the US, Aldi, Costco, and sprouting or growing your own little seasoning or herbs, that is really, really saving a way to save money. So I sprout a lot. I buy my seeds on Amazon. They're cheap. You use a glass mason jar and little mesh lid, and I sprout my own things. I don't have a space for a vegetable garden, but if I did, I would. And just there's a lot of organic, cheaper stuff at Aldi and Costco here in the U.S. So we are fortunate to have access to these things. And just parting thoughts is that don't act like a child, because you're not a child anymore. And what I mean by that is you cannot just eat what you like and what you want, because it's not good for you and you're not a child anymore. So we are allowed to have preferences, but we cannot act like, I mean, you can, but you should not be acting like a child anymore. And the other parting thought is, if you do not make time for your health, sickness will come and rob the time that you did not have. And that is so true. And that is sad, because it happens more often than not.